Hello, Clutter Warrior. Today, we're going to talk about nothing is certain and can you be okay with that? When it comes to decluttering, when it comes to organizing, you can be certain of where your vegetable peeler is. You can be certain of where your knives are. You can be certain of where you put your socks. You can be certain of where you park your car, where you file your papers, where you store your photos. All of those things you can have some certainty about. Everything beyond you, you have very little control over. And I think we often get trapped into this idea that when we hit a bump in the road, that this is an anomaly. This is an unusual thing, and everything's going to go back to normal. If you look back over your life, even if you look back over the last month or 2 months, things happen. We could say they're unexpected, unusual, surprising, however you want to frame it. But the idea is things happen all the time. I mean, I don't know what happens in your life, in my life. Things happen all the time that I am not expecting. It doesn't mean that they're unwelcome. It doesn't mean that I don't know how to deal with them. It's also things happen. Uh, for instance, my mom's partner is in the hospital. Um, no, sorry. My mom's partner's sister is in the hospital. Unexpected. Inevitable. She's been ill for quite some time. So when things like that happen, uh, we have all of the feelings that come with somebody's transition. In addition to that, there's sometimes the feelings of how did this happen? This was unexpected, as opposed to we're all going to leave. Uh, we're often disconnected from that fact, and we just think, la la la, it's another day. I'm here. I'm just chugging along, and I'm going to be here until I'm not. And that somehow we're all going to fall asleep one night and not wake up. I mean, that'd be a great way for this experience to end, but that's not how it often ends for people. Often there's an illness, there's something, right? And we are surprised when that happens, uh, and it seems like something's happening to us, as opposed to this is what life is. And I understand this is a rather large and perhaps grave and intense example of it, but it's whether it's somebody dying, or it's a flat tire, or chipping a nail, or uh, something getting lost down the garbage disposal. I mean, all of the things, all of those examples are things that we weren't planning for, we didn't expect, and they're also just a part of life and they happen. So it's important when we think about simple lives, organizing ourselves, what do we have control over and what don't we have control over? And Bell Hooks said all the time when she was alive, 90% of the things we worry about will never happen. So why spend all of that time worrying about things that are happening up here but aren't necessarily happening in the world? And what do we need to do to become spiritually, psychologically, emotionally fit enough that as the unexpected occurs, we meet it as it arises? We're not thrown by it. I mean, again, we're going to have feelings about it, but not about the fact that it happened, about what the actual nature of the surprise is, right? And hopefully you can see the difference. One is, oh, I'm having feelings about the fact that a surprise has occurred, as opposed to I'm having feelings about this new piece of information. One of them seems inevitable and more appropriate, i.e., I'm having feelings about this thing that has occurred, and now I have to deal with it, as opposed to I was expecting never to have any surprises in my life. That's the difference. So the quicker we can get to that place of not expecting anything to ever happen other than what you can imagine or control, and accepting There's plenty of things that are going to happen beyond your control. And again, as you think about all the examples, it could be a delay in a flight. It could be a traffic jam. It could be going to the grocery store and finding that they are out of whatever it was that you wanted to purchase. All of these things are unexpected. How are we going to meet any of them? How are we going to meet all of them? That's part of the practice, so that when it comes to maintaining our simple life, building our simple life where we feel in control of what we can have control over, our stuff, our clutter, our physical environments, our own well-being, and acknowledging that everything beyond us we have zero control over. No point in fretting about it, worrying about it, making ourselves crazy. That's really the opportunity for us to dig in and drill down into a way of moving through time and space that will reduce the anxiety, reduce the upset, and allow us to be fully present and meet what arises when it arises. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. Thanks for tuning in. I look forward to being back with you again real soon.